Hello and welcome to Car and Bike. So here it is finally, the all new Aprilia RS 457. Just take a look at it. What do you think about the way it looks? Do let us know, leave a comment about what you like about it or if there's anything that you don't like about it. For me personally, I think it's a smashing looking bike, and even if you're not into sport bikes or you're into sporty riding, this one will certainly keep you occupied and you'll certainly take a second look at it if you see it on the street. And especially in this black and white color option, it looks completely sporty, very premium, very nice looking motorcycle. And of course, there's that parallel to an engine, 47 bhp, 43.5 Newton meters of torque, and it's got a dual beam aluminum frame. The swing arm, although it looks like it's finished in aluminum, it's not an aluminum swing arm, it's a steel swing arm. And we are here at the Kari Motor Speedway to test it out, ride it briefly on a track here and tell you all about it. Of course, we don't know how it feels on the real world, but from the track we'll tell you all about how it handles, how it rides, how it performs, what's the engine like, what's the throttle response like, how it handles, how it brakes, everything about it from here, Kari Motor Speedway. But before that, please do like the Car and Bike channel if you haven't yet, and hit that bell icon so that you get more content like this from the world of cars and bikes.
If there's one thing that will immediately impress you, it's the way the Aprilia RS 457 looks. Aprilia's first made in India motorcycle certainly doesn't skimp on finish and quality levels. It looks premium and well finished with an upside down front fork and a rear monoshock, both offering preload adjustability. Up front, there's a 320mm single disc with bi-brake 4-piston calipers and a 220mm rear disc. The 17-inch alloy wheels are shod with grippy TVS Eurogrip Pro Torque Extreme tires. A 5-inch TFT display offers menus to navigate through the ride modes, 3-level traction control settings, and also offers smartphone connectivity. Overall, it's a sharp-looking motorcycle with the design taking some obvious inspiration from a bigger Aprilia RS 660, and it's a good-looking motorcycle.
I think for me the biggest strength of the Aprilia RS 457 is the way it looks. Just look at it. From any angle you look at it, it's an absolutely gorgeous looking motorcycle, and that, in my opinion, it gets full marks. Look at the face, nice looking twin headlights, it's got this MotoGP style winglets. Overall, if you look at it, it's well proportioned from any angle you look at it, from the front, from the rear, from the side, any angle you look at it, every angle, it just totally nails it in the design department. But some things I am not a fan of, particularly on this side. That 4 carbon fiber plastic panel on the swing arm is something which I am not a fan of. And the exhaust tip could have been finished. Something like a brushed aluminum finish would have made it even more better. And when we're riding on track, there's no place really to hold my heel. There's no heel cuff here on both sides. So that's something perhaps if you want to ride it on track, you may want to look into, because there's nothing to hold your heel onto. But over and above that, everything else about this bike is premium and it's desirable and it's nice and it looks completely smashing. But there's more than just design. It's loaded with electronics. It's got ride-by-wire, it got 3 riding modes, and you get 3 levels of traction control, and you can switch off the rear ABS. But all 3 modes, you have the same full power, 47 bhp of power. The only difference is in the throttle response. It's ride-by-wire, of course. And traction control, you get 3 levels, ATC 3 with highest level of intervention. If you're riding in wet conditions, that will help you. ATC 2 is middle, ATC 1 is minimal intervention of traction control. So all that is quite packed in the Aprilia RS 457.
As soon as you get rolling, the Aprilia RS 457 will surprise you with its friendly personality. The throttle response is gentle, the power delivery is mild, and it's not a bike that will scare you off. Sure, there's enough performance when you need it, and it can be potent enough when you want it to be. But what really impresses is the way it handles. Left to right transitions are seamless and the chassis gives it a level of stability and balance that is very impressive.
I think as an entry-level sport bike, the Aprilia RS 457 certainly makes a very strong case for itself. It's got very friendly performance, the throttle response is very linear, very smooth. So if you're new to such performance-oriented motorcycles, this bike will not scare you silly. So if you want to start track riding on, this bike is friendly, it's got enough electronics, and you'll always feel in control. Unless, of course, you do something stupid and get into trouble. But having said that, the chassis is quite nice, it handles beautifully. You can throw in and out of corners. The traction control works to make you feel safe on the track, and the throttle response particularly is very smooth and very friendly. So it won't give you that jerk or that instant rush of performance which might be intimidating for new riders. So in that department, the Aprilia RS 457 certainly comes across as a friendly and beginner-friendly sport bike really. So it's got all the bases covered if you're new into performance-oriented motorcycles. Now, a couple of things could have been better in my opinion. What could have been better is a quick shifter, especially when you're riding on track. An addition of a quick shifter would have made the riding experience certainly more enjoyable if you are an experienced rider. But that is something Aprilia says will be available as an accessory, but we don't know the cost yet. But yes, you can spend some extra and get a quick shifter installed if you're into track riding on a regular basis. And what could have been also better is the feel of the brakes. Now you can disable the ABS on the rear wheel, and I tried doing that after the first session. And the moment I disabled the ABS on the rear wheel, the front brake, actually the performance started improving. But the brakes, the pads come with organic pads, so the bite of the front brake when you have both rear and front ABS engaged is not as strong as you would desire. So hard braking, I felt that there could have been a little scope for improvement, but that's something also which Aprilia says you can change and get sintered pads installed, which will make your braking performance even better. Now we've had a brief go at the Kari Motor Speedway here. So in terms of handling, in terms of dynamics, this bike certainly is something which you can explore your sport bike riding skills and improve upon. So all those bases are covered to the point. So even if you're new to such kind of a performance-oriented motorcycle, this bike will not scare you silly. So that's a very big plus point. And this is something which we believe will also translate out into the street. So you will always feel in control. There's a surge of torque from 3000 to about 6,000-7,000 RPM. So you will always have enough torque when you open the throttle. There's enough power, enough torque. So even if you're at a higher gear, just open the throttle, it pulls cleanly. So bottom line, it's a friendly sport bike, looks smashing. So in that department, I think the RS 457 really makes a strong case for itself, despite its slightly high price tag.